you know where you go when you die? I do. You travel on, reborn into something else, like a caterpillar becoming a moth. And until now, I've only been able to trap the moth in its cocoon. The body has to adjust, of course, adapt. We weren't built for this kind of thing.
Hey, yo, In Madness friends, In Madness family, we are here with a brand new episode of a movie. We're finally doing a movie episode, and it's one that was picked, by us, but voted on by you. Episode 160, In Madness Pod, Shawn the Butcher, Vertebrae33. Hello, sir.
What's going on, Shawn? I am entering the void.
I see this bright illumination coming from your YouTube
Mhm.
video feed.
I have figured it out, Shawn. I am there. How
Are
are
you
you?
going to cut your face off now?
No. I mean, I get a little nick when I'm shaving, and I'm like,
I was
freaking
watching
out.
this movie and I was like, there's no way Vertebrae is going to be into this movie. It is just...
It's a lot.
The gore factor is through the roof.
We'll get into it. But yes, I'm good. We are here recording at a normal time.
Trying to keep it all together.
We're
here now going. Officially. Last episode, we weren't here, even though we were there. Yes. But now that we're here,
I'm not sure what time it is, but we're recording. It doesn't matter. I'm in the dark either way. And this is the sum total of my social life here, Shawn. So let's go.
I love that I'm part of it.
Yeah.
And I will get you out. We're figuring out your concert calendar for the year. I'm going to get Vertebrae out of the house. We might go see a black metal band. We might get our mission sandwich. I might give him his Wild Hunt candle. I might get my Pennywise mug. Who knows the wonders that will happen. I like this lighting. You might have to fuck around and make this your official lighting soon.
Oh, this is blinding to me.
This is the premier podcast, even though we don't seem to have any grip on what the hell we are doing. This is In Madness Pod. We are on all of the socials at In Madness Pod, inmadnesspod@gmail.com. If you want to go blind, you can check us out on our YouTube feed.
Look at that. That's just like the movie.
Fully putting his flashlight into the camera. Make sure you, if you want, like and subscribe and comment. Give us the 5-star reviews. Check out the In Madness Spotify playlist. Who knows what song will be added after this episode? We are up to an insane amount of hours of music, stuff we bring up on every single episode of the show on the In Madness Spotify playlist. Happy In Madness Monday. Tell everybody you know about this show. Spread the tentacles, not only worldwide, we're talking universal wide, galactic wide, intergalactic wide. We want you to reach beyond the void and wrap the tentacles around time and space itself. Tell everybody you know about this show. You can get a shirt and a mug at inmadness.com. What mug do you have this week?
I've got this little tentacled handled mug.
Oh, cool.
That says refuse to sink. And it's got this little...
I like your little octopus tentacle handle. That's pretty sweet.
I figure that was very apt. Shawn, I would like a new motto for this podcast. We are the official podcast that will keep you from cutting your face off. You listen to us. You won't get caught up in what Richard's telling you. You stay with us. Everything's fine. Shawn, there are 7,000 points in this movie we're going to do that you and I would have been gone. Yeah.
And I'd have been gone in the beginning. I'd have been one of the ones in the beginning. I'd be the one set on fire immediately.
Right. So we are doing for episode 160.
Voted by you.
160 episodes of this nonsense. And people have listened. Some people have gone back and listened.
They voted.
We're going to get into that later on. They have voted. They came in and we heard their voices.
Gifts.
They sent gifts. And now we're doing The Void from 2016. Easily the ickiest, gooeyest movie that we have ever done. And you ask yourself, why would I put this on the list?
Is it the ickiest, gooeyest? ever.
I think so.
The most, yeah, okay.
It is the ickiest, right? It's
It
just
does
icky.
go excessive with the violence, which I found entertaining. Yeah.
Yeah. I will say this right now, right off the bat, before we go into it. If
Yeah.
you're wondering to yourself, if you listen to this podcast, this doesn't seem like a movie Vertebrae would be into. Well, one, it's the Lovecraftness of it, which we'll get into as we go through it, which hooks me in.
It ain't the monkey.
No, but every once in a while, it does these really cool things with these dark, ominous shots, and the score is incredible, and
'Cause
that's
it
what
seems
hooks
like
me.
it's one movie, and then all of a sudden it's another movie.
When it gets into B movie, they're not my parts, right? But when it's getting even like their presentation of this, their key art that they did, the posters, the everything, incredibly done, hooked me right away. But just like some band covers and stuff, you don't get a lot of that in the movie, right? There's some shots that are on the poster stuff that just don't exist even in the film. But all in all, on a rewatch, I was like, yeah, there are parts of this movie that I absolutely love, and I wish there would have been a second one, and we can get into that when we get through it. But Shawn, this hits at a time when my daughter's very, very, very young.
Oh
too.
God, yeah. Great
And
movie
so
for you to be watching.
So I think the first time I saw it, probably, comes out 2016. I probably see it 2017 because it wasn't something that was in the theaters for a long period of time, and just from the marketing alone, I wanted to see it, and I liked it, but I had a lot of issues, obviously, sort of getting through certain parts. Now, older, a little more removed from it, that process, kind of had a different take on it, but yeah. I do have, Shawn, I have the score on vinyl. I'll show you
It
this
is
magnificent.
horrifying score. Look at that masterpiece.
It like glows. This is from Death Waltz Records, and it opens up. I don't know let's see what it opens up to. I can't even see. What is it like?
Oh,
It's
that's her on the slab.
yeah.
Where will it tickle you?
Yeah. So really, really good score. The score is various artists. They were on Lakeshore Recording Records, and Death Waltz put it out on vinyl. But even it was written and directed by Steven Kostansky and Jeremy Gillespie. One of those people I reached out to on Instagram. I forgot to look and see. They replied because I said I wanted to do something with them, co-brand Vertebrae33, The Void. And that's when I was told that it's kind of all tied up in some unnecessary red tape. And Gillespie was moved on to that Psycho Gorman movie. And so they were promoting that. So they weren't really into this. And that movie, from what I can tell, having not seen it, is probably leans more into the B part of The Void and less of the kind of the artier side of it that I liked. But the creature effect, Shawn, crowdfunded on Indiegogo,
Incredible.
raised $82,000, $82,510, and it's all traditional effects for that, which is pretty fantastic. It opens in theaters, makes about 55,000 its opening weekend.
Oof.
And then grosses another 149,000 during its release. So 82 for the effects. Then you got to pay actors and stuff. So this is probably like a break even type deal. I'm thinking they could probably tell me differently. Certainly had a life on Blu-ray. I can't even get it on Blu-ray. They only made a certain amount, and you can get it on eBay, but it's actually a lot of money. There is a big collector market for these Blu-rays and this vinyl. I probably shouldn't have opened it and listened to it because I probably could have gotten a lot more money for it.
Like, you're gonna get rid of anything.
No, I'm not gonna get rid of it. But this is one of those movies that has a life of its own after it's in the theaters, and it's gained this thing later. And I think it has to do with the movie, but I just think too the overall presentation, the overall look, the open-endedness of a lot of it. We'll get into it, but those robes and the stuff with the triangles and everything is just, got people thinking. So I'm excited to talk about it. I will tell you, I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you that today I was walking my daughter home from school, and she told me she got like a 98 on this geometry vocab test. And she wanted to inform me, because I said we were covering the void, which had a triangle in the center, that it was an acute equilateral lateral triangle that was used in the thing. So there you go. And certainly the occult symbols always like to be very well balanced. So anyway, that was today. You know how our lives intersect into what we do. But I thought that was funny.
Acute and obtuse are words that will pop up later in this podcast, and they don't pop up in any other of the 159 episodes.
Yeah, pretty crazy. But yeah, were you surprised, before we dive into it, were you surprised that this got picked?
So it was this War of the Worlds, Annihilation.
Which is a bigger movie.
Which is a bigger movie, but we have had it in a voting poll. I think this is the second time we've had it in a voting poll, and it does the In Madness family just seems to be voting for anything else that's there. And I mean, War of the Worlds, I was thinking War of the Worlds might have won, and it was the least voted for. I'm very surprised that The Void won, but I think it's also the superior of the three. I know how much you love Annihilation.
I love Annihilation.
I saw Annihilation once in theaters.
And I've also read the book, and the book series, so I think it has a different weight.
But I do love War of the Worlds too. But The Void, I'm really our audience, the penitentiary craves blood and psychological mind fuckery.
And I wonder too a little bit of, do they crave movies that aren't necessarily gigantic movies but people in sort of the horror scene like? It'll be interesting when we have other choices. We should probably always include one of a smaller movie in there and see if there's a pattern. But I wonder if some of that's where it's too, because it's like, if you know The Void, you know The Void type thing, right? They're the opening act on a tour. This
and
movie,
the opening act is always better than, not always, but I mean, it always kind of outshines the headliner in a way. They're always just, there's many bands that I discovered that was like, oh, you just stole the entire show from the headliner. You guys kick ass.
Yeah. And I really thought that we would maybe get more of this world. And even though, maybe it only broke even or whatever, there was sort of such a buzz, especially on the Blu-ray and DVD release, that I thought maybe somebody else would take a stab at this with some bigger funding and give these guys a chance to do it on a little bit of a bigger scale. Not much bigger, to be honest with you, because I think they do quite a lot on the budget that they have. But again, it never happened. I don't know if things just fell apart or they expected more out of it or whatever. But I mean, you can't buy, like, it's hard to get Void. There is like posters that you could get. Those have been sold out. The vinyl is hard to find. The Blu-ray is hard to find. So yeah, this is one, I bet you down the line, some company will put out some special version of this Blu-ray, like Arrow.
You'll be the first one to buy it.
Yeah, with like a making of or a booklet, right? Because there's so many cool practical effects. There's got to have been a lot of sketches of these creatures and stuff that would be really neat to see. So if you find any Void stuff, let me know. I don't have a Void mug. I couldn't find one.
You got the tentacles close enough.
Doesn't exist.
It kind of reminds me of The Mist. I love the claustrophobia of it and how we're like in one spot. It also reminds me of Halloween 2. We'll get to that in a second, of course.
Oh yeah, of course. This is very heavy Carpenter vibes throughout this entire movie. Very heavy Carpenter vibes.
Is that what you had for now before we get into it?
Yeah, I'm ready for you to take us through this.
So I didn't even have this on my list, but it did come to me for our Spotify playlist, because I don't know how much music I'm going to add from this episode. Usually I'll have it in my notes, and I don't think I have anything in my notes for this. But I'm sure you've probably seen it all over your algorithm, like the French Canadian band, the Aliens, and Jean de Poitrine or whatever they're called. And like they kind of look like Slipknot. They have the long noses. And they're like aliens from outer space, and they're polka dots, and they play instrumental stuff, and it's just two members. And you haven't seen this? You haven't
No,
seen Oh, well,
no.
I'm gonna tell well, I'm gonna send it to you. I'll post it on our socials, and
Put it on the thing. Yeah,
I'm
let's
gonna
go.
add
But
it
we
to
can
the
also
Imad
put stuff from the soundtrack
So
on there
here's
too.
what the deal is. They have triangles on their heads, and they're
Mhm,
aliens, and when they start their show, they do triangle things,
mhm.
so I think that fits perfectly into this theme of
Yeah.
Void.
I mean, there's a band, Portal. Do you know the band Portal?
Yes, I saw the band Portal live once at St.
Portal's a
Vitus
good
Bar in
band. That
Brooklyn, New York.
Portal is literally like this movie.
So
They
I
exist
will
in this
also
world.
I'll hit you. I'll text you when I'm reviewing this episode and ask you what Portal song
Yeah, yeah.
you
If you
wanna
could
add.
pick the first song or the sixth song, I think it sounds exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's like that band Sun. Do you ever listen to that band Sun?
No, but is it gonna be an hour? I
SUNN.
know Sun. Is it gonna be an hour-long song? I'm sure it is.
But what I'm gonna say about that band is I'm like always excited when they have a new record out because I love the aesthetic, I love the music. But honestly, I it's tough for me to tell the difference between most albums and most songs with them. Portal's like that too. Portal's the stuff I would put on to like annoy somebody, right? I've listened to it. They're fantastic live, right? They have like the guy had
Clock.
like a clock
Yeah,
face thing and stuff. Like very, very cool. But yeah. They would
I'll
live in
add
this world. If they made a sequel to this, that they should have Portal on the soundtrack, just like a movie that they were promoting had your buddies from Sanguisugabog on
the
the
bug.
Bog was on the King of Spawn King, whatever,
I think
socials, the
so.
movie.
They
Yeah,
all shared the same post, so I'm looking already like Spawn's looking great to me.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm definitely gonna add all of this stuff to the In Madness
Alright, let's
Spotify playlist.
enter
Are
the
you
void.
ready? Yeah,
Let's
Into the
enter
Void.
the
Let's
void.
go. Ready? Immediately, we start with a dead body. We hear screaming in a house. Black triangle on the door. This dude's running away. Gunshots are going off. Girl's running away. She gets shot. There's a man and a boy. They cover the girl in gas. They burn her ass alive. What the hell is going on here?
Unbelievable. Opens, ominous tones. We see feet of a dead body, triangle painted on the door. First of all, Shawn, the symbol for fire and alchemy is the triangle pointed up. So they use the triangle and alchemy symbols down with a line. I think there's earth and water and stuff. So right away we see that. But yeah, this is messed up. The fire is very yellowy green too. There's some cool kind of color play going on in this film. But yep.
Even weirder, we get a shot of some dude covered in a white sheet with a black triangle on the front. Kind of reminds me of Squid Games. I guess Squid Games might have took some influence from this, maybe.
Yeah, we'll say something else took some influence from this too when we get to it later, although yeah, heavy influence from this. But uh dare I say iconic. That outfit, that triangle face is for a movie that probably most people haven't seen, totally iconic. Bummed that they're not doing more because I would
I
love
love
to
how
develop
into this
characters.
movie you are. That's
Yeah.
great. We get our opening title shot, The Void, and behind it are all these cryptic symbols,
Mhm.
triangles, circles, lines. It's just
Yeah.
symmetrical madness. We got a cop in his car. This dude who escaped the house a second ago collapses in front of the cop car. I have no names for any characters. I gave everybody a nickname, so just hang on for the
That's
ride. That's
awesome.
going to
I
be.
do have some of the names. By the way, Shawn, Symmetrical Madness. Fantastic technical death metal band name, right?
I
Tech
like
death metal.
I'll keep trying. The
Symmetrical
dude is gonna have to
Madness.
update his list and send that in again.
That's okay. It's okay. You do it up to the
But
point
I gave
that
everybody nicknames because I was like, I'm not, and they don't use the names that often. I was like, I'm not looking them up. I'm just gonna watch this in a blast and get this done.
okay, so we'll be a little confused. I do have some names in my notes, but
Sure.
I'll catch on to what you got.
Yeah. It's basically who they are. Their nicknames are just what they are. So we got
Okay.
Cop Dude and the guy who escaped the house. He collapses in front of the cop. So the cop takes him to the hospital. Now we are in the spot where we're going to be basically for the rest of this movie. Exactly like Halloween 2, which I love because, again, it's like, who's working at this hospital? Nobody
Right.
on the staff is here. The hallways are empty, but I love how isolated and claustrophobic it is.
And this movie filmed primarily in Ontario, Canada, and they utilized this abandoned Sir James Dunn Collegiate and Vocational School for the interior hospital scenes, and it was demolished shortly after the filming concluded. So
Maybe it was cursed.
Mm-hmm.
We got a few characters at this hospital. One of the patients is watching Night of the Living Dead on TV.
Yeah, that was
Very
fun.
cool. We got a granddad with his pregnant granddaughter. We got a new girl who's training to be a nurse, the head nurse who the cop seems to know, and we got our head doctor in charge.
Mm-hmm.
The cop and the nurse were in a relationship. They lost their child. The head doctor tells the cop when his child passed away, he was a mess. It took a while for him to come back from that.
And this hospital, Shawn, is being decommissioned. So they're moving the files over. They're getting out of that place. So that's where it ends up. So it's almost like they closed that weird loop from Halloween 2 of like, why was that hospital in Halloween 2 so empty? They wanted to use that, but it's like, well, we got to give people a reason. So it's like, hey, they're in the middle. You know, we have one doctor here and a couple nurses in case something comes up, but we're out of here. There's even like some plastic outside the window, like outside of one part of the building when they have an exterior shot. But yes, these guys are in love with Carpenter for sure, and Lovecraft.
So are we.
Yeah.
The cop dude goes to leave. He hears a nurse crying. He walks into the room, and the nurse is stabbing the patient in the eyeball with a scissor. And the cop's like, what the fuck? And she goes, this isn't my face, and starts cutting her face off with a scissor, saying, this isn't me. Can you help me? And then she runs at the cop with the scissors. He pops her dead. Everyone freaks.
Yeah. So I'm like, in my notes, I'm like, she said it was not her face. 14 minutes in, and this has gotten icky already, is what I put in my notes. So where I lean on all this, Shawn, and I said it in the beginning, is I lean on the dudes in the cloaks and the tentacles, and I kind of skim some of these other parts that are not my favorite, but I think you need those to give people something.
I
But
want to
yes.
create a Vertebrae33 icky meter with like 5 ickies, and then how many ickies you give each movie.
And then it just goes wee wee.
There's also a great clip I got to pull. You did the vault, you did Nosferatu's vault, and you did wee, which is classic. I got to pull that one too. In between these scenes, we get these great, cool, eerie shots. We get trees, we get darkness, these empty hallways. We get these intergalactic cosmic shifts happening, bright colors in the galaxy, what looks to be a distant planet or a meteor. There's dark clouds, like a tornado is forming, and we see this flesh with this beating heart underneath it, kind of like Uncle Frank from Hellraiser.
Yeah, we get darkness imprisoning me.
Good song. We can add that if you want. The cop faints. He's woke up by the doctor, who's trying to get the cop to relax. But another trooper has now arrived and wants to know what the hell's going on. He's telling the dude about the nurse that he just shot. And the cop wants to know how the hell the trooper got there so quickly.
Yeah. And also, he passes out and other stuff happens to this cop in the movie. He really takes a beating. But they say at one point, like, oh, he had a seizure. But like, then they never follow up on that again. They're just like, oh, he might have had a seizure, and then like, oh, got to move on. I think this movie probably takes place in almost real time. I think all of this takes place like, but maybe it's over a period of a night because we do get sunlight at the end. So maybe it's just overnight, but it feels like it almost, doesn't it almost feel like it kind of like happens almost in real time, like a few hours. This is all taking place.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least one night minimum.
100%. This trooper was already on the hunt for the dude that the cop picked up in the beginning. There was a bloodbath at this house he was at. Tore the place up like a butcher shop. Trooper dude doesn't like this cop, this new cop dude.
Mm-hmm.
He liked his dad a lot more. This whole situation's a shit show.
Yeah, this poor guy can't get a break because there's more than one person that mentions his dad. So he's clearly like living up to something. But I do love us being thrust into this world, these existing relationships that we have to kind of figure out as we go along. Carpenter does that very, very well. And they do that well in this movie too. The only thing I'll say that this movie lacks, Shawn, and we can say it right in the beginning, for me, there is not one endearing character. They're just kind of all there, and we sort of root for them. I think Kim probably could have been that character because she's sort of us in the movie, but it never sticks, you know. You don't leave that movie like, I'm so happy that Ripley made it out, right? Like that doesn't happen.
No, it's very depressing from beginning to end, pretty much.
Yeah.
So now the young cop dude wants to call it in and let everybody know what's going on. He picks up the phone. Wouldn't you know it? It doesn't work. So he heads out to his car for the CB radio, tries calling dispatch. Wouldn't you know it? Nobody there. Looks in front of his car, and there's a person in a white cloth, black triangle on the face. The cop is grilling the dude, and this loud horn goes off. I love this horn, whatever it is. And it reminded me immediately, War of the Worlds, competing with this movie. That loud ass horn goes off. All the lights immediately go out, and the dude in this white cloth lunges at the cop with a knife and is stabbing him, but really, really slowly.
Yeah. And so, Shawn, these people in these robes, the cult, let's say, right? To assume they're a cult. Are they alive or dead?
Oh, I mean, now after reviewing the movie, they're probably dead.
Like they're peeled people.
Yeah, like the ones in the basement.
Yeah.
But just with cloaks because they've been like upgraded to a different
higher
level of being. The ones in the basement are the rejects, and the ones with the cloaks are the graduates.
Because the whole time I'm thinking like they're just standing there, like for a long period
of
time.
The Foot Clan, the Foot Soldiers,
but they just stand there. Like but if you got to go pee, like what? Like so, I was thinking they can't just be regular people, right? That's a lot of work to just stand there for like hours and like not move. Also,
tinkle, yeah.
Perfectly clean robes. Who's doing the laundry for this cult? Good job. Fantastic.
These are the detective-y bits that Vertebrae
These are the cleanest robe for dudes who've been wandering around in the woods, stabbing people. Clean it, like got blood out of those robes, presumably. Yeah.
The cop shoves this dude off. He gets up and sees several other white-robed triangle folk. He runs in the hospital and he's screaming for help. Okay, so at this point would, I think, be the best for me to have my milking of the alpacas moment.
Milking of the alpacas moment.
Because a lot of crazy shit has gone on.
In like 20 minutes.
And this movie seems like it's heading maybe in one, maybe in two directions at this point. But right now, as if things were not crazy enough, you think you're dealing with, psycho killers. But no, because his next shot is Scissors Nurse from before.
Yeah.
Who's cut her off her face. She's laying on the floor, and there's tentacles flippity flapping out of her eyes and mouth. What the hell is going on here? Now we're in alien territory. And now the onion and the plot and the layers thicken.
Yes. We have started out in Carpenter Land and then kick the door clear open to triangle-shaped door to increased Carpenter Land with heavy Lovecraft. Now we're just battering people with the Lovecraftness of this. Dare I say, in Lovecraft like films, it's not a direct adaptation of a Lovecraft story. Right, so it's not like we did Color Out of Space, which we both love, and it's a direct adaptation. But probably in the top 10
for you
of Lovecraft-esque films, maybe 10 to 15. I would have to look at it. So one of the things that always comes up short is the Lovecraftness of things is often reduced to just tentacles and monsters, and then they're like, that's Lovecraft. But there's this whole mind fuck that happens in Lovecraft stories that this also hits and this also dives into. So it gives us, there's a lot of Lovecraft adaptions that don't give us that extra, like you're saying, peel the layers back. There was more to it without answers, but they certainly never call out a Lovecraft creature. They never call out an elder god's name or anything. They just sort of
the cosmos.
They just ride right alongside that.
We see a body in the morgue, more of this heart beating, exposed flesh, this beautiful shot of the cosmos, again, morphing into something, this intergalactic thing. You quickly see a bright white triangle and the silhouette of a figure in front of it.
Very cool.
The hospital is now surrounded by these white sheeted triangle folks staring into the hospital. From the other room, the dude they found in the beginning is screaming bloody murder. So everybody bursts in the door, and there's Tentacle Nurse, fully alien formed, almost like the Thing. Tentacles reaching for the dude who is currently cuffed to the bed. They free him and lock the door with the alien inside. This movie is nuts.
Nuts.
Look at you with your light. You are having so much fun with your fucking light.
It's magnetic. I was trying to hook it on the thing.
Check us out on YouTube.
Look,
Vertebrae.
it's like at the edge of the triangle, right?
It is. It's one of them. You're almost there.
I'm almost there, Shawn.
If you start cutting your face off, I'll have to.
Never again. If I nick myself shaving, I'm down for 20 minutes.
If the shit has not hit the fan yet, there goes your light. As they're panicking about the alien, the dude and the kid who set the lady on fire in the beginning burst in the hospital, pointing a rifle at the dude who got away. The escaped dude grabs a scalpel. He grabs the pregnant girl. He puts the blade to her throat. And as this dude is pointing a gun at them both, everybody is screaming. All of this shit is absolute mayhem.
Yeah, it's complete chaos. At different points, Shawn and I don't know what. Listen, I don't know. We're probably killed early on in this movie, but if we make it to the hospital, I'm going to tell you right now that neither of us would be any help.
No, I would just be so annoyed. I'd be so mad at the situation I was in and the people I was there with.
I'd probably just head to the cafeteria.
I'd probably be one of the dudes under the robes because I'd already be dead.
Or just like get some sheets, draw a triangle on it.
We try to fit in with them.
Slide out the back door and just try to stand there, like hold still. And then when
Sharpie,
when they advance on the building, you just break out. So when I have these elaborate dreams, sometimes I'll have it where I try to problem solve like whatever chaos happened in my dream. And that sounds like a scenario that would happen. Like, all right, I'll just put the sheet on, paint a triangle on the center.
I mean, you're at the hospital. There's lots of sheets. There's got to be some black markers there.
I would think so.
Sharp objects. Just hold something.
You slid out the back door, blended into that crew. They advance on that building, and you're like, peace out. You go the other way, take the sheet off, and just run into the night. Yeah.
Doctor's trying to gain control of this situation and gets stabbed in the throat with a scalpel. All hell's breaking loose. Grandpa knocks out the guy trying to save his granddaughter, and then the alien grabs the trooper dude, drags him off, and everyone is freaking out.
Yeah, and he starts to eat this guy. Puts his tentacles into his eyes. More ocular horror.
Slowly. And they go in, but they like never stop going in. It doesn't reach a limit where it stops going in. It just keeps filling the body with tentacular whatever.
Tentacular madness?
Yeah, tentacular madness. The cop goes after the trooper. The alien is burrowing its tentacles into his eyes and his mouth, his whole body. The alien knocks the cop dude away, and the guy with the rifle and the kid who set the girl on fire, they take axes and they are chopping the ever-loving shit out of this alien. But another head like grows out of its back, and this dude blasts it with a rifle, sprays raspberry preserves all over the wall. They keep chopping and hacking at this thing, and it's still digging its tentacles into the trooper while they're chopping at it. So they axe off the tentacles, then chop off the trooper's head. This has been like this whole sequence, and the sequence before and the sequence before has been non-stop tension and frigging insanity.
Yeah, and gross. And, you know, people are fighting amongst themselves, and they're, this movie gets cooking quick.
There's no sentimental moments in this movie.
No.
Maybe the last 3 seconds of this movie.
We don't get investigative bits, but we do get explainy bits with a voiceover kind of, not a voiceover, but with the,
The doc who got stabbed is dead. All hell is breaking loose. We got a standoff between crazy rifle dude and the cop. Rifle dude wants the kid that escaped. They're trying to talk sense into him when we see the kid he's traveling with. He's got a bandage on his throat because the last people must have ripped out his throat or something.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy rifle dude tells everyone they're not going anywhere. The cops and nurses want to know what's going on. Rifle dude says he wants to burn the place down with everybody inside of it. I fucking hate this guy. He says that horn, that sound, you can hear it miles away. Something is calling them to this spot. Nobody knows who the White Sheet Posse is.
No.
Something's up with the pregnant girl, of course.
Yeah.
Her and the old man want to leave, and here comes angry guy just disrespecting everyone, smoking cigarettes, telling everyone they're going to die, trying to have fight with the women. He's acting like a total clown.
Yeah, and so I wrote in my notes, pregnant lady is in pain. Are we getting a monster baby? No. And then I also noticed, Shawn, how many people are in this office when they're arguing?
God, is it 7?
It's 7. There are 7 people in that room when they're arguing. They have the other guy locked up, so he's not in the room at that time. But they got 7 people in that room. Here we go again.
Now pregnant girl's about to have this baby. Nurse wants to help. Cop is freaking out. You cannot do this right now, but she convinces him, but she needs to go get med supplies to go birth this baby. Now the cop wants to get his gun out of the car. So now we ask psycho dickhead dude to help him out and get this gun from the car. Of course, this worst dude ever, only concerned about helping in one way. If he gets the gun, it's his gun.
Yeah, I mean, in this film, you know, who the person who has the gun is in charge. It's very similar to The Thing in a lot of ways. And then McCready ending up with the flamethrower and threatening them and whoever's in charge. And yeah, they love these 2 guys that made this movie are madly in love with The Thing, rightfully so. I find it funny that we're getting to a movie heavily inspired by The Thing before we ever get to The Thing, which we will eventually get to, and it'll be incredible. But yeah, there's lots of little kind of like nods to that.
They head out to the car, which is now no longer right in front of the hospital. It's like 100 feet away.
How did this happen? I'm confused by this.
I think the robe posse moved the car just to fuck with them. Be like,
so how do you think they did it, Shawn?
Mind powers.
Yeah, because you got that robe on, it's gonna get all dirty if you push that dirty car. Are you jump starting? Like, are you hot wiring it? You can't. Where can you see through the triangle? Yeah. Mind powers, I think. But if they have mind powers, then what are they waiting on?
The horn. I don't know. They're waiting on their master, who's about to show up a little later.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I guess the time piece, the time element in this that we're going to find out eventually is the birth of this child. But it might have made sense to have it around, and they've done this in other movies, some sort of like penultimate time that takes place where this event happens. So like, okay, if we're working till they've done it in a million movies till it's midnight, and then that's when the eclipse happens, or that's when this happens. That adds tension to it as it's building, because now we're just riding along. We eventually are going to realize that they're sort of all waiting until this moment goes down, and maybe it's a hive mind, so they can sense that this, why all these people in all these robes would care about this dude and what he cares about. And I don't want to give it away yet. That I'm confused by, because they don't have an ultimate goal. They have his own personal goal.
Yeah.
We'll get to it later. Yeah.
So they head out to the car to grab the guns and ammo. The nurse sneaks off to get the med supplies, just like she promised the cop dude she wouldn't. She's packing up supplies. She leans down, and behind her is this shadowy, bloody figure. And we get this scary pop in this long shot of this empty, creepy hospital hallway. The guys are taking forever with these guns, and the white robes show up. Psycho dude starts freaking out. One of them attacks and slashes throatless kid. The cop blasts the cult member with the shotgun, and they run back inside.
Mm-hmm.
Cop goes after the nurse in the supply room, and Psycho Guy tells Cop Dude the Throat Kid's whole family got killed, and Psycho Dude had to rescue him.
Mm-hmm.
They look back, and the bloody blanket that was covering the doctor is on the floor, and there's no body under the blanket.
Right. When you first see this, you assume he's been taken by one of the monsters.
They go to the supply room. No nurse, but her bag of meds she was filling is still there. The guys hear a phone ringing. They head to the office and pick it up, and there's a man on the other line. It's the doctor.
Yeah,
the,
calling from the morgue. It lights up, and it's calling from the morgue.
The dead doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Telling the cop he can show him even more. Psycho Guy goes through this little lock box on the doc's desk, and there's pictures of tons of bodies. Dead, alive, who the hell knows?
Mangled robes with the triangles. So we find out Richard, which I think is Powell, Richard Powell, Dr. Powell, is the big bad. That's the reveal. He is the big bad, and he's spearheading this whole operation here. Maybe he just got the laundry people at the hospital to wash all those robes for him, right?
They're his workers now.
To it.
Yeah. Clean my undies.
Yeah, I mean, they're also like not wrinkled at all. Like they're perfectly
ironed.
ironed. Yeah, those are that they should sell that. That should be a Halloween costume.
That should be your Halloween costume.
Right? That you should, well, I mean, I guess you could make it, but we need mugs, we need void mugs, we need we never got a toy. Could you imagine a toy from this? A couple of these monsters as toys would be pretty cool. This movie was underserved, Shawn.
I love how much you love it. Doc asks Cop if he really wants to follow in his father's footsteps. Doc understands how far loss can take someone over the edge. He's telling Cop Dude graphic details about his dead daughter. Doc says losing his daughter changed him, but he's doing what's necessary to make it right. He tells the cop he will understand soon.
Right. And so we get that backstory early on between the cop and Allison, that they're a couple, they're married, maybe presumably separated. They had a child. The child didn't survive childbirth. I'm not sure, but the child passed away, and they're kind of separated while they deal with it. So they have that kind of in common, or he thinks, with the evil doctor.
So throughout this and throughout like reviewing it as deeply as we are, I'm kind of thinking that the evil doctor was in on the passing of their child, and it was somehow linked to this project that he is working on.
Perhaps. Yeah. Maybe he's previously tested and done other things. Yep.
Psycho Dude is going through the books on Doc's desk, all sorts of symbols, occult, satanic symbols. Doc has Cop Dude's wife, the nurse. Doc says he'll help her. He's going to help all of them. And one of the pics in the lockbox is a door with a black triangle on it.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, I noticed there is a clear shot of this mug. And even when the cop was given the mug, he goes, this mug. And I see mugs and shots of mugs, and the first person I think of is Vertebrae33.
Yeah, it was like a police mug. It wasn't, Marsh. Right?
Mug warship. No wonder you love this movie.
Yeah. There's a few mugs. There's tentacles. There's some explainy bits. There's a really cool,
detective-y bits.
Weird synth score to this undertone. This is really good. This score is a good one to just put on just as a mood. It doesn't necessarily put me in the movie, if that makes sense, because it's a lot going on where it's just underneath it all. But like, just to have it on its own, it would live as like a really good album separate from this film.
We got the new nurse girl freaking out. Cop Dude is going to leave her with the pregnant girl who's having issues so the men can go find the nurse.
Mm-hmm.
Psycho Dude is flipping through these pictures and finds a picture in the pile of the kid who escaped in the beginning. They got him cuffed to a wall.
Mm-hmm.
They wake him up and he's freaking out. Says it's not his fault. He didn't do anything. Here's our explainy bits part. He's screaming, saying the doctor did this all. That's why he killed him. And they're like, the doc's not dead. Now the kid's freaking out. He says he went to buy drugs. He was brought to this house. It was full of these bodies. The doc gave them drugs, made them have sex, called the place a church. The cops don't believe him. We've known Doc for years. This story is bull. Kid tells him the place was full of cult dudes in robes. They did sacrifices. They made him watch. Says it's not a devil thing. They made people change, and he saw it with his own eyes.
Yeah, if we didn't already have Deftones Change on the playlist, we would put it. We are doing 2 movies back to back with a transformation kind of deal taking place, like Silence of the Lambs had. But yeah, Shawn, so presumably they're getting together. He's having them make babies, and then he's trying to do. We never find out how. We never learn how he was originally. There's no Necronomicon in this. We don't know how this doctor found all of this and could then speak another language and do all these other things.
He does sum it up in one quick sentence to try and wrap things up nicely.
Right, but there's no long, this is an hour and a half long movie. It's not a 2-hour movie, or an hour and 23 minutes maybe, or something. So they're not going to get into that as much, but and some of that lends to the coolness of it, where you don't need it all explained to you.
They all head downstairs to the basement. They find a secret staircase going down into total darkness, complete unknown, the abyss. Kind of reminds me of the stairs in Barbarian.
Yeah, and it's like a sub basement because it's not the regular hospital basement. So they've got this whole other. So maybe this hospital has always been the center of this occult stuff. And maybe, Shawn, maybe it's being decommissioned and closed because of all the messed up things that have happened in that place over the years. Maybe.
Look at Vertebrae writing the sequel to this movie. Nurse lady wakes up paralyzed. There's Doc speaking too calmly and too creepily, saying he's almost ready. She says she saw him die. He had no idea it felt this way. Not pain, more of a release. As he's calmly talking, this sick fuck is clipping away little gooey pieces of his skin, transforming. Says he wants to save someone beyond saving, no matter the cost. Losing his daughter destroyed him, but also made him want a solution. And then he says, here's your thing. You'd be surprised the things you find when you go looking. So
yeah, I mean, maybe he worked at the hospital and that was always there underneath and he finds it. I mean, listen, in this case, Shawn, you just got to go to a room that's marked with a triangle on it.
And you're in.
And you figure it out. I mean, they must have these cans of spray paint and triangle stencils everywhere. But yeah, this is the center of, and this isn't satanic. This isn't hell like other movies. This is
the cosmos.
This is the cosmos. This is the intergalactic Lovecraftian world. Presumably, we're referring to, in Lovecraft, it would be like the elder gods, like Azathoth and Yog-Sothoth and, the great old ones like Cthulhu and stuff. So that, it's always been there. It's been there since before time, and there's always a place to get into that. There's always a center to get into it from our, universe, from our plane of existence, right? So this is where they get into it. It's much like coming out probably the same year, I think, was Stranger Things, and you get that, you're going into the upside down.
Boy, do we got a reference to that coming soon. In the basement, the dudes find this ritual chamber. Cult markings on the floor. Smells like a tomb. The escaped kid recognizes the symbols. Doc made him look at things, the worst things he's ever seen. Psycho guy said the house was full of bodies with someone on a table like they were doing surgery. Pregnant girl's in trouble, asking for him. Is he around? And Gramps is like, yeah, I'm right here. Everything's fine. Then they knock her out with drugs. Downstairs, the men find it. The door with the black triangle. We get these 6 shots, like a baby's bed in a maternity ward, melted. A shot of the cop and his wife in the hospital. A dark sky with the giant triangular object floating above it like a UFO and a silhouette of a being with no flesh. Doc is calmly, creepily asking the nurse if she knows what happens after you die. You travel on. You're reborn. Like a caterpillar becoming a moth. And then we go, Buffalo Bill?
Yeah.
He's been
I mean,
trying.
humans are always striving for some sort of transformation, even in just your regular plane of existence. People love to turn over the new leaf. I'm not going to eat any chocolate anymore, or I got to go to the gym every week, or whatever. We're always striving for that and that change. So this is the ultimate change that you think you could actually, have answers to, right? Because we have no definitive answers for all our beliefs. You don't know until you know, and you probably will never know type thing. This gives you like the blueprint for it, which, you know what, Shawn? I bet you I could see a lot of people wanting to join this cult if you're going to tell them, here's the blueprint to your existence. You might have to peel your flesh off, but you could probably live for like ever.
That's where I'd be out.
You'll get
I'd be
used
like,
to it.
wait. I'd be like, excuse me,
Yeah.
is the flesh peeling mandatory? They'd be like, yes. I'm like,
Yeah.
sorry, guys. I gotta go.
First day at the meeting, Shawn and I are giving our robes. We're giving our manual. We start to go through the manual, and like page 1 is like, and I'm like, well, I got this beard. I can't lose this, kind of my thing. I don't know about this. And I'm sure you don't get a lot of breaks. I'm sure it's just a lot of work. Yeah, no good for us. I'm out.
He's been trying to figure out how the body adapts. It's not built for this sort of thing. Early on, he made mistakes. Some of those mistakes are still down here. They caused the fire that destroyed the hospital. They want to die, but he will not let them.
And because we'll start to get into this now, because believe it or not, we're like super far along in this movie. What do these, we'll call them elder gods, to use a Lovecraft reference, get from dealing with the doctor? He's trying to get something, but why do they care? Like, why does it affect them? They're just happy to rain down ultimate horror on the human race, I guess.
Yeah. Madness.
Yeah. Madness
around the world, around the galaxy. He tells the nurse he's going to help her. He's going to end the cycle of life and death. He's telling her about her unborn child, graphic details about its death. He says he can stop it. This is the first step, resurrection. Again, he lost his daughter, but tonight he is calling her back. The nurse is begging him not to. He approaches her and says, it's already done. And we see his whole face is cut off in a pan. Like Hannibal?
Mm-hmm.
He removes her sheet and her stomach is moving around like the lady from Prometheus.
Yeah. Also, Shawn, this guy is totally Vecna from Stranger Things.
Well, not at this moment.
Not at this moment.
But yes, 100%.
We are going to get
have
there.
Our Vecna reveal.
Right now, we start to get more Hellraiser than Vecna, right? We get the Void borrowing from Hellraiser. Then we're going to get to a point where clearly Stranger Things borrowed from the Void.
The guys in the basement are standing in the middle of a human slaughterhouse, dead bodies all over the place, and now we see a pair of feet levitating towards them.
Mm-hmm.
Pregnant girl is now burning up, covered in blood, and now new girl, intern nurse, got to do a C-section. Fantastic.
Yeah. Also, like, I don't think now, Shawn, that those dudes in the robes are the creatures, because none of them end up like in human form. They're so disfigured, and the robes are clearly human form. So maybe there's like levels to the structure, the hierarchy of like, you're the robe guy. Like, I'd rather be the robe guy, I think. Right? When you would rather be the robe guy,
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, maybe keep your skin as long as you stay under the robe. Like, you got to stand around for a while and do a long shift.
A couple people,
but you're not like disfigured guy. You can float though when you're disfigured guy. So I don't know.
Some of these characters here, it's great. Down in this basement, the crazy guy starts hearing voices in his head. Mm-hmm. We hear a squelching noise. They look over, and one of the bodies is awake, with a whole gigantic hole in its face, and it keeps repeatedly smashing its head through this pipe in the wall, and crazy guy looks at it and goes, we are in hell.
Yeah, this is like a little bit of a Tool video happening in this basement for sure. Maybe we should put a Tool song on the
we already have a couple, but we can add another one if you want.
Yeah.
All the dead bodies are reanimating. Throatless kid starts popping caps in all their asses. Upstairs, pregnant girl screaming. The nurse is screaming. Gramps is screaming. It's total fucking havoc. And the glass at the front door breaks as she's trying to cut this baby out of this girl.
Yeah. So now they've decided to come in.
They're not tired of waiting.
Yeah.
While the baby's being birthed.
That's what I'm saying. So they know. It's like a hive. Here we go.
Downstairs, crazy guy sees what looks to be a woman standing in a corner, and in a trance, he walks toward her and vanishes into a hallway.
Mm-hmm.
This creature gets up doing the backwards crab walk that we always talk about in our movies on all fours, grabs the kid who escaped the house in the beginning and pummels his face into the ground, and now he's dead.
He's gone.
Gramps is yelling at the nurse girl to do the C-section. She has no idea what she's doing. She refuses, and then Gramps gets his throat slit open.
Yeah, we see her eyes going white as she's kind of thrashing around. Then we see Gramps' throat, and then we get probably would it be my milking of the alpacas moment.
Throat slit by his granddaughter? What?
Yeah, Maggie.
She says it's finally time. Uh-oh.
She's in on it, Shawn. They're always in on it. See, we've had 2 of them in this movie that were in on it.
She says Doc is a great man and she's proud to carry his child.
Oh, gross.
All the lights go out in the hospital. Fantastic. The loud ass horn blows again. Oh, man. A bright red light shines in the hospital and there's 2 cult dudes standing in the hallway.
Yeah, this all makes just having Michael Myers in a hospital seem so much easier to get around. This is a lot.
Everything is about to change. Throatless kid is looking for Psycho Dude. The basement has this maze of hallways till a corner turns, and now it seems like the kid is inside his home with pics of him and Psycho Dude and a lady in the picture. So I guess Psycho Dude is his dad, and the lady dad chased is mom, who I'm assuming is dead.
Yes. Yep.
Throatless kid finds Psycho Dad, who of course screams at him and says it's all your fault, and now they're having a scuffle until he stabs him with a torch.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently Throatless kid was supposed to look after mom and the baby, and now they're dead, so now Psycho Dad's a little pissed about it.
I mean, in his defense, look after them against this
What
cult
are you gonna do?
and army of disfigured human. I don't know. Yeah, what are you doing?
Cop dude is hearing his nurse wife calling his name. He finds her laying on the slab. How will it tickle you, Senator? She says she's about to give birth. Cop dude is transferred back to when they were actually about to give birth, when they were happy, and then the light fades.
Mm-hmm.
We get a flash of what the room really looks like an alien cocoon, like a gremlin's cocoon. Shit hanging all over the place, tentacles wrapped around her, moving, living. He picks up the axe, and for a second, again, she becomes human and begs him to stay with her. Mm-hmm. So in great fashion, he chops her head clean off. Then we get this shot of our symbol, this illuminated triangle, light shining from behind it. There's Doc talking to the cop dude. Cop calls Doc a monster who thinks he's God. Doc is not too stoked about this.
Mm-mm.
He refuses to let death be the end. He will defy God because things older than God, older than time, have blessed him. Now he wants his daughter back, and he just needs one thing.
Yeah. Cosmic, shapeless, interdimensional beings is what he's talking about, Shawn.
My favorite type of beings. 2 cult members appear behind the cop, and pregnant girl stabs him in the back. She approaches the triangle, kneels before Doc, who is now Vecna.
Yes, 100%. There's no way that Stranger Things didn't that they didn't see this movie, because this comes out the same year as I think Stranger Things drops, but we don't get Vecna till years later. And they had to have, in the beginning, yeah, they kind of all are alluding to the same Hellraiser and Lovecraft things and the Mist and all this other stuff. But this seems like they were like, hey, we could do this character, but we could do him on our budget, you know?
He's like a Cenobite. All of his flesh is
Yep.
removed. He's no longer human. He says this will be his daughter's rebirth. He's chanting. The triangle opens to the abyss, this bright shining light. We get this insane light sequence that damn near gives me a seizure as I'm watching it.
Yeah.
I
And
closed my
also,
eyes for a second.
Shawn, this triangle is receding into the wall, and you're getting this bright light that's coming through it as it recedes. That's really very cool. So it's still there. It hasn't completely disappeared, and it's just heading back into the white light. Very cool.
Again, we get this cool shot of this pitch black, stormy sky and what seems to be a skull pushing through organs.
Probably the same shot over and over, but it's still cool.
Doc plays his hand on this girl's head, and she sees the vision of the monster she's about to give birth to and freaks out until she literally explodes.
Mm-hmm.
This enormous monster crawls out of her, kind of like the dog beast from Ghostbusters and kind of like Krampus.
Yeah,
but
it's
more
gross.
twisted.
It's got like a skull face. It walks on all fours. It's got tentacles. I wrote in my notes, it's got it all. It's like they kind of rolled it all together. I did an illustration for the Bernie Wrightson tribute book, which we should post with this, which has this little gnarled tentacle-y monster, which kind of fits into this a little bit. But yeah.
So once this happens, all the cult members begin dropping to the floor. So again, it's a hive thing, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
This thing is walking on them and popping their heads like watermelons.
Yeah, yeah. Gross.
Finally, Psycho Dad redeems himself and starts popping caps in this thing. It grabs him and he blows his face smooth off. Tentacles shoot out of the thing's face and start burrowing into Psycho Dude's body.
Yeah.
So he's covering himself with gas. The kid with no throat lights a flare, and we see his mom and the baby behind him. He chucks it, and he lights Psycho Dad and the monster on fire.
Yeah. Burning, shrieking monster baby scene is what I wrote.
Doc says he can see the plan in motion. The infinite astral workings. What a beautiful phrase.
Yeah, and he's trying to, at this point, he doesn't seem so upset about this baby anymore. It seems like he's now got a new, like, it's weird now. Like the baby's
His agenda
gone.
has changed.
Yeah, it switched, right? Because it was about the baby. It's about the baby now. Now it's like it's about his melding with, space and time, so to speak. It's interesting. Like he's either pivoted, or that was his full intention, or he had to present this full sacrifice to complete some deal. Like we don't
This
really
monster
know.
to become part of.
Yeah, we really don't know. Because what's the end game with that gnarly monster baby? What are they doing?
Yeah.
We're gonna get a scene where they're just like hanging out, having ice cream in the
Smoking
park, and throwing the
cigarettes.
ball around, and they finally get to spend time together. Like, yeah. So
Doc morphs kind of like oil inside of a lava lamp. We see a shot of space, an enormous triangular pyramid looking thing, until thwack, cop dude plants a fat ass axe right into this stupid Doc's shoulder.
Yeah.
Doc grabs the cop by the throat and tells him to let him die. He can be with his wife again. Tells him death isn't the end, and cop dude's like, yeah, it is. And he shoves him and Doc into the void, which seals up immediately.
Which is weird, because he was wanting to become one with this. So why does it bother him? How does that injure him if he goes into it? It just kind of happened a little bit quicker, and we don't see the Doc dude again. But if there had been a sequel, we might have.
Now he's Vecna.
Yeah.
Now the whole place is quaking. Not only that, but Monster Krampus baby is still alive, chasing Throatless Kid. The walls are closing, and the kid makes it out just in time as the monster gets trapped in the middle of the nether regions. He finds the nurse intern girl. She's alive. You get these beautiful shots of the sky, like color out of space. It's dawn, a hint of purple in the sky. We get the shot of the black, stormy, ominous sky again. Now it seems we're on like LV 426.
Mm-hmm.
In the background, we got all these structures, sort of triangular but smaller. Is this isosceles or obtuse or acute?
Obtuse would be wider. Yeah, I mean, they're not. These are no longer equilateral acute triangles, so they might be.
In the background, there's rows of them. Are these structures? Are these ships? What are they? We're on this planet, this rock, whatever it is, wherever it is, and there's cop dude, and there's nurse wife whose head he chopped off, and they're staring into the sky at this enormous triangular structure, pyramid-looking thing, lightning striking in the background. It's as ominous as it get, folks. It's like the monolith in Space Odyssey. What is this thing? Cop dude and his wife hold each other's hands. Cut to black. The end. The void.
The
Sick movie.
end.
What is this thing? What
I don't
is
know.
this triangle?
I don't know.
Is this
And
like
certainly this is very 2001: A Space Odyssey. They have the monolith stuff, but it's in shape of the triangle. They've clearly entered another dimension. If we want to solve this for people, they are into the upside down before other people have gone into the upside down. This is the prequel to the Vecna era Stranger Things. But no, they've entered this other dimension. Are they alive? Are they dead? Were they able to? Is this the everlasting life that he was talking about? Did they somehow achieve it? Listen, Kim stays alive. We have her alive in the hospital. So we have people alive on the Earth plane, and then we have them alive in the void. So Shawn, your answer is, what is it? It is the void, right? That's what we're seeing. What does it mean, and what does it mean for them? No idea. Like this is ripe for explaining. It would be good for like a comic offshoot of this to kind of explain it, or a book or something.
IDW? I hope you're listening.
An IDW comic for this. Yes, I pitch this idea to IDW right now. If our buddies are listening over there, let's go. I could draw some stuff for you. But
I feel like this triangle thing is like this all-seeing, all-knowing from before the Big Bang, from before the beginning of time, just like, and that's what these beings are. It's just like triangles, squares, circles, like, yeah.
Very cool. The
trippy ass movie, violent.
When they hit the credits, they go to this song called "Going to See the King," which is on the soundtrack album. And there's a bunch of artists listed on it, but one of them is Jeremy Gillespie, who is one of the writers and directors of this, is also on that song. So that's pretty cool. And then we hear static and sounds, and then we hear like the phone ringing kind of thing going on towards the end through the credits. I stayed because I wanted to see.
I did not, so please fill me in.
There was nothing at the end, but I was wondering.
Yeah,
they just show the void, they name the void, and it comes up and with all these effects. But I was hoping we'd allude to something else kind of at the end.
Post-credit scene, big pop.
Yeah. I don't know if there was ever an intention to make a sequel to this movie. And certainly sometimes it's better to just have that movie exist. But I think they laid out so much framework for this with that whole area with the other triangles and everything. It would be way more expensive to make because now you're not just at one facility at this hospital. Like this sequel has to take you to the next level with this stuff. But it'd be interesting. You know, it's kind of a waste in that they use this as triangle and all this occult stuff. And now it's kind of like if somebody else does that, they're ripping off the void. You know what I mean? And it's what a
the triangle.
What a great symbol. We never get, and it's on the posters, we never get the doctor in front of the triangle with tentacles coming out of the triangle. We never get that. Whether that was an idea that they wanted to do or not, that was certainly all over the posters and all over the marketing. That never actually happens in the movie. Would have been pretty cool if it did. But
on some
this movie
shit.
That's why I like this movie, Shawn, because of all the other stuff. I could do without all the ooey and the icky and the gooey stuff, but I needed to get through it to kind of get these other weightier questions about.
So out of 1 out of 5 on the icky meter, what's the void?
Oh, I don't know. 1 out of 5. What is
4?
It's up there.
Yeah, for sure, a 4.
It's couched for me. It's couched with the fact that it's not realistic.
Yeah.
It like makes it easier to kind of view. You can, so when it's like a icky gooey monster, it's better than if it's like something that happens to like a real person, for me anyway. But
I love how much
yeah,
you
let
love
us
this
know.
movie.
Yeah, this was enjoyable.
Good vote, kids. Good job voting for one that Vertebrae was super stoked about.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to do all three of those, so that the truth be told,
I mean,
I
you
would have been
did pick
happy
all
about it.
three, so yeah. We're gonna have another vote soon enough. It's I get the next pick, then Vertebrae gets the next pick, and then it's a fan vote.
Yeah, I'm gonna clobber you on the pick after that.
Oh my god.
No, I don't know. I can't. You know what sucks? I can't do Annihilation because it
Well,
just
yeah,
didn't
you
get
keep putting it
voted.
in the voting poll, and we have a rule. If it doesn't make it in the voting poll, there's a 3-month, I think it was, buffer.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. So yeah, you wanted to put my movie that I'm doing next in the voting poll, and I refused because I said if it didn't win, then I couldn't use it. So we didn't do it. So now I'm going to do it. And I've been wanting to cover this movie since we started this podcast. So we'll get to that later. The Void, great movie. I love this movie. I don't think a lot of people like, it's like a cult thing, but I don't think a lot of people have seen it. So I'm hoping that as we do best with this podcast, we have put people on to a new cool fucking movie that they'll fall in love with. If you want to discuss this movie with us, favorite scenes, favorite monsters, favorite moments, favorite beautiful shots, on the socials, In Madness Pod, at In Madness Pod, inmadnesspod@gmail.com. Send us emails, send us voice notes, contribute to this show, and we will read your emails on air and play your voice notes on air. It's a very interactive, fun sort of party we've formed here over the last 3.5 years. Yeah, it's just us, but like, we like pulling a lot of people into it. We opened up an amazing gift last week on the show. We read some great emails and played some great voice notes the week before that. Yeah, we have you voting on movies. You voted for this movie. You're very
voting on movies. We're gonna pick somebody to pick a movie
now because you dropped that bomb on us last week. Everybody in the comments is like, I want to pick the movie. I want to pick the movie. I want to pick the movie. So keep doing that in the comments, and eventually we'll be like, all right, fuck it.
My problem is if they've listened enough, there might be somebody out there who's like, I just want to annoy.
Yeah, gonna sabotage the show.
I'm just gonna sabotage the show. But we will still be the ultimate arbiters of whether we do that movie or not.
I feel like we have to give, like, they have to give us 3 and then we pick. This way they can't be like, cover this garbagey garbage and we're just stuck doing it.
Yeah, because there's gonna be somebody that listened from the beginning who was like, I want you to cover Cocaine Bear.
Yeah. No, we have to leave it up to like 3 and they have to give us 3 and then maybe we pick those.
That sounds good. Yeah.
We'll figure it out. So that's it for The Void. You got all your gnarly bits and detective-y bits in?
I got all my gnarly bits in.
Great
I'm
movie.
excited for the next episode. We've got some cool little things we're going to go over in the next couple episodes. And then we're going to hit a Shawn movie and good times. But thank you everyone for listening. I appreciate the comments online. I appreciate the participation. It just helps. Listen, Shawn and I currently make $0 from this podcast, and we do it because we want to and because we enjoy it. There are no ads on here. There's not even a Patreon yet, which we've talked about for 2 years. We have some shirts. We may have some more shirts in the future, but you can support us if you listen and you want to support us by getting other people to listen to us, by increasing that, because that's what we want. We love their participation. We love the fact that people are listening and giving back to the show and being active members of it, right? That has become my new favorite part of this. And originally I wanted no parts of that, Shawn. I didn't even want to be seen on camera. I didn't even want people to know. I don't even use my real name, but it's just amazing.
Growing this community and getting more people to listen and getting more people involved. It is my favorite part of doing this show. So with that, we will see you next week for episode 161 of In Madness Pod.